This week, we're going to be studying multiplying fractions by a mixed number. Your experience and mastery with converting a mixed number into an improper fraction and an improper fraction back into a mixed number, as well as cross-canceling and reducing, will help you as we learn this new skill. Let's first remember what mixed numbers and improper fractions are. Here we have the mixed number 1 and 1/4. We know that it can also be expressed as an improper fraction 5/4. Let's take a look at what that looks like. We know that 1 and 1/4 is the same thing as 5/4. As we have the visual, we can now take a look at just the numerals to remember how to do that. We have our mixed fraction 1 and 1/4. To get to our improper fraction, we take a look at our mixed number. We know that we multiply 4 times 1 plus 1 gives us 5, and we just simply carry the denominator of 4 over into the improper fraction. This should be review for you. Here's the first equation that we're going to take a look at. 3 and 5/6 times 1/3. Remember, the commutative property of multiplication states that it doesn't matter which factor you have, either in the first spot or the second, when you're multiplying, your product will still be the same. That is exactly the case with multiplying mixed numbers and fractions. In this particular example, we have 3 and 5/6, the mixed number as the first factor, and just a regular fraction as the second. It would not matter if it was reversed and the regular fraction was simply on the left side of the multiplication sign and the mixed numeral was on the right. Our first step is to make sure that we've changed all of the fractions or all of the mixed numbers into improper fractions. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, here's our original equation on the left-hand side of the equal sign, 3 and 5/6 times 1/3. You've noticed that in this place of the first factor, I have taken that improper fraction 3 and 5/6 and turned it into 23/6. I've then carried over the multiplication sign and I've just carried over the 1/3. That's the first step, as easy as can be. The second step is simply multiplying as you normally would, but don't forget to cross cancel if you need to. Let's take a look at what that means in our equation. Here's our original equation, 3 and 5/6 times 1/3. What we did in the first step was we multiplied and made sure that our mixed numeral was changed into 23/6 and multiplied by 1/3. As we take a look at this new equation that we formed for ourselves, I'm looking both ways. On this side of the x, I don't see anything that I can cancel there, and I'm going to look on this side, 1 and 6. I don't see anything that I can cancel there. I'm going to go ahead and multiply again to get 23/18, which I then took to be 1 and 5/18. Here's another one for us to try. 2/3 times 4 and 7/10. In this particular one, we've got the mixed numeral on the right-hand side of the multiplication sign. Again, remember, it doesn't matter where it is because of the commutative property. As you've noticed from the second part of the equation, we have retained the 2/3 in the first position, put our multiplication sign down, and then we've taken our mixed numeral and changed it into an improper fraction, 47/10. For the second step, we're ready to multiply as we normally would, not forgetting to cross cancel. In the first example, we didn't need to cross cancel, but remember, you should always look because that will save you from having to reduce too much at the end with big numbers. This is where we were when we left off with the first step. We took 2/3 and carried it over. We changed 4 7/10 into 47/10. What's next? Let's take a look. We see now that we have 2/3 and 47/10 that we can cross cancel the 2 and the 10. 2 goes into 2 one time and 2 goes into 10 5 times. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Okay, here on this side of the equation, we can see that the 2/3 became 1/3 because of the cross canceling with the 1, because we said that 2 went into 2 one time, so that's how we got that. And 47/5, the 47/10 became 47/5. How did that happen? Well, when we looked at the denominator side, we recognized that the 2 went into 10 5 times. It's a little difficult to cross things off like we normally would do in class, but you can go ahead and do that on your worksheet. After I multiplied 1 times 47 and got 47, I then multiplied 3 times 5 to get 15. Once I got that in proper fraction, I turned it right around into a mixed numeral. I'm going to go ahead and post on the resources page this information for you so that you'll remember how to do it if you need a guide.